John Bowlby developed the theory of attachment, which is known as a lasting psychological connectedness between human beings. This begins with parent and child, but is also important in other significant relationships throughout life. So if you take a look at this table here, there's 4 needs for attachment. So everyone really needs to be safe, seen, soothed, and secure. Many children did not receive this from caregivers consistently growing up, and without bringing attention to these areas of your own attachment bond and creating security, we will repeat similar patterns with our children. So if you take a look at this chart here, the 4 S's of attachment by Dan Siegel, which one of these do you relate to needing most, whether it be when you were growing up or even now as an adult?
If I had to pick one, I might say seen. I was a middle child, and my parents were real busy with their stuff they had going on. And there were times where I felt like my younger brother or my older sister got most of their attention. So if I had to pick one, I'd say seen.
Okay.
I would say for me, it's I think more in my adult life of looking back and learning and seeing that, like for instance, my mom, though very loving and met all of her needs, wasn't super emotionally attached, and so I don't think as a kid any of us really grew up with her soothing us and kind of getting comfort in that, and so like I don't think I've sought that, and I don't think then growing up as an adult didn't seem like that was anything I needed because it was just never offered. But I think that I've maybe come to learn as an adult that there are times where maybe I do actually need that and just realize. So for me, realizing that was something that I just didn't know I needed.
Mm-hmm. So what would an example of being soothed as an adult look like?
I feel like it's there's times where because I take on too much, and oldest kid in the family, so some of that naturally falls on me, but that's also my personality to take probably on more than I can handle at times. And I think soothing comes in where my wife might be asking or just saying like, how are you doing, and saying even like kind of affirming that this is too much, or kind of recognizing and helping me see like it's okay that I feel overwhelmed by that, and sort of that validation of like this is tough to not do that.
It's okay to slow down and
slow down or not take that on, or feel like you have to do that, like it all hinges on you, which is what I feel all the time.
Validating that what you're going through is hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like so.
Okay. I think for me, I had parents that helped me to feel safe, and and at times I felt seen, at times I felt soothed. But where I felt a lack of security and maybe some anxiousness was because of things going on in my parents' life, especially when I was young. That attunement wasn't consistent. So I felt insecure, never knowing when those needs were going to be met and when they were going to be preoccupied with their own stuff. So that might be, I think, feeling secure and just knowing that attachment, that my parents being there for me was always going to be there for me. Now, if you've experienced some significant types of trauma, it's likely you didn't have any of these needs for attachment met as a child. Or maybe you came from a pretty stable home. And I bet you could still identify one that was lacking at times.